Hi guys, how are you doing? It's your girl Alina and this is Simply My Views. I've been dying to make those videos. However, it took longer than expected because I needed to get all the necessary permissions or consents, because as you will see in the video, there will be other people featured in. It's not just me. And while at the beginning I want to thank the two organizations that gave me verbal consent to film this. First and foremost, my employer, Namibia Water Corporation. I spoke directly to the PRO who said it's okay, and that really made me happy. I have this very genuine passion to share what I do or how I do it. Mostly because I know there's not really a lot of awareness of what we do or how we do it. It's also very difficult to explain the deep science behind it. But while I find myself on a project where I can show visuals, I was like, why not grab this opportunity and show it? So thank you Nam Water for this opportunity. And also the human drilling contractors. This is the contractor whom I'm working with on this project. It's a drilling organization, Namibian, and yeah, I hope you guys are excited. We are here in the Kwisa, Namibia, this side of Walvis Bay. We are actually in the Kwisa River. That's why in the video I was like, we are finding water or drilling for water in the desert, because this side is also the desert, the Namib Desert. So isn't that fascinating, guys? Like, wow, of all the places in the world, I mean, in school they taught us the desert is supposed to be a dry place. Yes, it is a dry place, but this one, there is water. Yes, I'm really excited and super grateful. So I had to acknowledge that. I, however, shot bits and pieces of the video before I got consent. So I'm gonna allow the parts that were just shot before the consent was given. That's why I kept saying, guys, if I get the consent, I'm gonna show you as much as I can. I got the consent, and yeah, let's go guys. I want to also highlight that the video was not shot in a single day. It was clips over a certain period of time. I will shoot, I think, a second video where I'm starting over the whole process to the end, in a different video. But for now, I think you can see some things, and then you can ask questions in the comment section and I'll try to answer them. If I don't answer individually, I'm just gonna make a Q&A video where I address all your questions. I know there's a water crisis in the country generally, so yeah, I understand, but this one is to bring to you the stages that happen before the water comes to your taps, especially if your area depends on groundwater. That means that water is being drilled in a manner similar to what we are doing here. Of course, there are several types of drilling that, you know, dictated by a number of factors, but yeah, sit through, guys, and enjoy, pay attention, ask questions. Yeah, let's go. Before we carry on with the exciting stuff, guys, I would like to make a disclaimer for this video. This video is solely for information purposes. It's not for business or commercial purposes. From my side, it's not for selling, guys. It's not an attempt to grow a channel or monetize it. This channel is educational and it remains so. I share very important information here. It's very relevant for those that need it, and please take it so. No parts of this video may be sold or redistributed at all. Even the consent that I got from the parties involved is to share information in an educative manner, and that's what I have tried to do to the best of my abilities. Okay, thank you very much. Please keep that in mind. So the commonly asked question about drilling a borehole is the cost of the borehole. How much much does it cost to drill a borehole? I know this is what everyone mostly is more interested in, so that they can budget or they can check if they can afford one. Okay? And there's obviously a lot of things surrounding someone deciding or realizing that they need a borehole. Sometimes the person is a farmer, they feel like they need this for their animals or for their green scheme and things like that. Some people feel the water is too expensive or something like that. To be honest, if you find out how much it costs to drill a borehole, you will realize at a later stage. If you weigh those two costs against one another, you'll realize something. I won't burst your bubble right now. I want to give you my answer as a geohydrologist. That the pricing of a borehole is not fixed for anybody. Somebody at their house can drill a borehole for X amount of money, and you at your borehole will drill the borehole or get drilling services at Y amount of money, which is obviously different. What brings about that difference? This answer is guided by the drilling standards that we apply, and that is the experience that I have. There are some alternatives. I will also touch on that a bit later. So, I think people think drilling is basically digging a hole. That is not correct, or that is not a correct thought. If it was a matter of digging a hole and just finding water in that hole, that will not really be a borehole. It will rather be maybe a hand dug well, or maybe just a well if it wasn't dug by hands. A borehole, a complete set of a borehole, is a hole drilled to a certain depth through a geologic unit that will later be called an aquifer. I'm sorry I cannot define these technical terms at this point. It will just make the video long. How deep you drill also depends on your local geology and hydrogeology. That will also affect the depth of your borehole, will affect how much you pay for your borehole, because most of the costings are charged per meter. Ne? Let's say you are drilling maybe 50 meters. If you are drilling 50 meters, sorry, it's a bit windy. If you're drilling 50 meters, you will get the rate. Let's say it's a certain a couple of thousands. Then you multiply that with 50 meters. The deeper your borehole is, the more expensive it becomes. Upon drilling, of course, depending on the geology of the area, a borehole must be installed with what we call casings. There are types of casings, and also the choice of that casing depends on a number of factors. Some are called UPVC casings. They are kind of plastic, if I have to simplify that in layman terms. So they have a price that differs from the steel casings. So if your borehole is going to be installed, the price of what will be installed will also affect the price of your borehole. There is, yeah, you get the picture. So if you really want to know for sure how much money you need, maybe invest into a study that is called the hydrogeological appraisal and siting study, so that scientists can cite for you. You have to pay for their services. It's specialized services and they cost a certain amount of money. and then you need to pay the driller separately, because you will get a drilling quotation from a driller. You can even start with Mr. Human, the owner of Human Drilling. Okay? Yeah, so you see, there is no exact amount of how much it's gonna cost. I know you want a number. Unfortunately, there's no fixed number. You have to find your exact your own price depending on where you are. Geology all over the country is not the same. Hydrogeology is not the same. Drilling depths are not the same. And you know what I was saying now, there are what they call traditional methods of sightings. That means not making use of a scientist or a geohydrologist to sight for you, and you resort to what we call traditional methods of drilling. I do not want to disqualify them. They have worked. They still work to a certain extent. But if the drilling is not successful, that means there either is no water in your borehole, or the water is not enough. There is what we call, maybe the water is there, maybe there's just 2 meters of water and it cannot come out and give you water that is enough for what you need it for. Then that borehole would have costed you so much and you did not get the water you were looking for. So there are success chances as well that are involved here, and you need to be mentally prepared for that. Anybody that's coming to you should explain these things for you, so that when you end up in an unfortunate situation, I pray you do not, you already have the heads up. With that said, let us go and see how I came to the desert. Yes, I already shot these videos before I got this consent. Maybe they will be clashing here and there as I edit, but let's go nonetheless. Let's go and see. Okay, if you don't know already by now, I'm a geohydrologist by profession. To a lot of people, they actually don't know what that is. Get a lot of questions like, what is that? What do you do? So I'm carrying this book. It's part of my books I had at school. I still use it when I work. It's written hydrogeology, so I can be called a hydrogeologist or geohydrologist. It's just like switched up terms, you know, but it means one thing. Hydro means water, geology, you know, you combine the two. So it's like a branch of specialization that has to do with geosciences, but water sciences, okay? Okay guys, so the day I made that video of introduction was yesterday. Yesterday was, however, just traveling day. We call it mobilization, like moving from where you are stationed to where you have to work. So that is taken out the way, the logistics, you get to the place where the work has to happen place if you're not there already, and then you settle in, and then you wake up and do the work. I mean, if you get there early and you can start the work immediately, you may do that, but this is how I did this specific one. This yeah, so this is me. I'm actually just leaving the place where I was staying. I'm having all my PPEs, boots and everything. PPE is personal protective equipment. Like, safety is number one when you are doing this kind of work. You must have safety boots, overalls, helmets, safety glasses. You see those later. Most importantly, I need a notebook and a pen to record everything that goes on at work. We have to write scientific reports after that. Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. If you don't understand, I totally understand. I just wanted to share a bit what goes on when I go to work, but this is not every day when I go do this specific kind of work. And I think when you're a woman, people ask a lot of questions, so I'm trying to answer those questions. So if you see something and you don't understand it, you can just ask in the comment section, guys. This is the whole point I'm making this video: raise a bit of awareness, share a bit of what we do or what I do when I am doing this kind of work. I really love this work. You can see I'm smiling a lot. Yeah, when I'm in overalls, I'm feeling like on top of the world, man. Like, I know to many it's you know, they think girls are supposed to sit in some office, blah blah blah, but with an aircon and nails done. I do my nails and still come out here, guys. We are beating the conventional laws of what women can and cannot do. We can do about anything, guys. So if you are looking into career choices or you are rethinking something, trust me, go for it. We are here, we are alive, we are kicking, we are doing very well. So see you guys at my next stop. Okay, so I have to drive now from the place of where I sleep to the site where I have to work. As you can see behind me, those are garage doors. I need to drive there. It is in the desert, like I said, so it will be in the dunes. So this is part of preparations, because if you don't do this, you're gonna wind up in a lot of problems, because this area is so unique. It's the dunes. So if you know Namibia, that side of Swakop, Walvis Bay, you actually go through Walvis Bay. It's a place called Rooibank, Quisep, Swartbank, places that are called like that. So that's where the work will be happening. Since I have to drive through the dunes, sometimes over the dunes, okay, there are small parts made there, but it is deep sand, guys. The dunes is just literally sand, not the normal sand that you even find in a village. Too much sand, like a dune sand. So now I'll be driving alone. So I have to really prepare. And I'll be driving a 4x4 vehicle. So right now, the first thing that I have to do, of course, before I drive, I have to check the vehicle if everything is fine. Yeah, we do that. I don't need to call a man to come do it for me, you know. So, and most importantly, I have to deflate the tires, because if the tire pressure is too high, you get stuck in the dunes. Hey, and not everywhere there's network, no? So if I get stuck, I might end up sleeping there. So guys, pray for me. And I'll see if I can show you me deflating the tires, and you know, when I get to the site and everything. So sit through, guys. Other very important things to take along is a shovel or a spade, so that when I get stuck, I can dig out the car. I'm driving alone, guys. There are some colleagues that I can call for help, but the job requires that I'm as self-sufficient as humanly possible. And then there is a 7-8 kit. Anything happens, I am sorted. And that is SPF 50 sunscreen. So my safety boots are on, and I could show you. So yeah, let's go, guys. Okay, so guys, I forgot my sun hat in the car. Yo guys, the sand, I don't know, can you see the dunes behind me? Yeah, legit. I am in the Namib Desert. It's not a joke, guys. Like, this is the only place in the whole country where you can find a dune, literally. If you don't know the physiological setup of Namibia, yeah, there. So I'm walking. It says I have 1 kilometer and 300 meters to get to my point where I need to go. I'm going to verify the point where we are going to drill. So the fun is about to begin. Yeah, ne? So this is how it looks in front of me, guys. There's some vegetation here. It's a riverbed. It's not a riverbed, this one. It's a riverbed, no? Yeah, it is a river there. So the river runs through the desert. You know what happens in the river mouth? Water flows there. So I guess this is why there are big trees here. Yeah, it's not a perennial river, guys. I think it's an ephemeral river, which means seasonal. Like it only flows during rainy season. But this one is not flowing. I guess the rain wasn't heavy enough this year. I mean, it could potentially flow if the rain gets heavier. But that is my path in the jungle. Huh? I'm such a girl, huh? Well, who here has used the GPS before? You can see the map showing the area of where I'm supposed to go, showing the distance that I have to travel, 1.1 kilometers northwest. So I'm really in the desert now. If you did geography, at least if you still remember your geography, this is the Ngara's plant. And it even have some fruits, small ones. Guys, the Ngaras is one of those plants that are known to only grow in the desert, like the Welwitschia. But I don't know where the Welwitschia is right now. Namibia, Ngaras plant. So guys, you can see I'm sweating. That means I walked almost 2 kilometers looking for that. The stick is in the ground. It's like a marker point. Forgot a very important point, that before you drill, you need to know where you are going to drill. You just don't wake up and go put the drilling somewhere. You need to do a study that is called the geohydrological appraisal. That is what geohydrologists do. Part of what they do is to do groundwater studies, groundwater investigations, to find out where the water potential is. And where the water potential is where you point and drill. So a geohydrologist put together this and found that this site is one of the places where we can drill. So I had to just verify, walk here on foot because the sand is too much. The car cannot make it. Yeah. So when I start drilling, I know exactly where I'm coming at. Please don't ask because the explanation is longer. It's not maps. If it was a map that you can go to see where the water, everyone will be doing it. It's a lot of science behind it. You need to understand that. So if you are looking for water, like a lot of people keep asking, that I know there's a lot of water issues, you need to consult a geohydrologist. Also, that geohydrologist can't be me because I do not do private work. I work for a public entity that gives water to the nation. So but there are a couple in the industry. I think everyone knows everyone, so you should ask. Ne? So now I'm gonna show you the fun part, which is actually drilling, getting to the water, ne? With drill machines. The river just started flowing, so now we have to pause the work and come back another time. That's the Quisab River right there. I think all of us can remember the excitement that was at the coast when it rained, so that stopped our work, unfortunately. So hi guys, again, how are you? I think you can see from my hairstyle that this is definitely a different day, a different time from when I was shooting the introduction videos. I still want to continue with this vlog. Yes, please stay with me. There's a lot of information I won't be able to fit on this video because there's just so many technicalities, so many facts that should go out there. But one thing that I wanted to highlight is that on every work that is done regarding the environment or that is going to affect the environment, we are talking about water here. Water is part of the environment, part of the ecosystem. So when that water is going to be extracted, especially now with regard to drilling, environmental laws have to be considered and adhered to. This where we are going to be working is particularly through the 2 national parks, that is Namib National Parks and the Dorop National Park. We actually had to get a permit from the Ministry of Environment that allows us to be here, and in that permit there's
specific instruction that has to be adhered to. Failure to do so will result in penalties. One of those things is like keeping the environment clean, not littering, not poaching, not plucking the plants or anything like that. So I also understand that when these activities are going on, communities feel a certain way. They feel like maybe it's disturbing their livelihood and things like that. Just know that AIA's environmental impact assessment have to be done and weigh the damage that will be done versus the benefits that will come out. And even if there is foreseen damages, there's something that is called rehabilitation or remediation of whatever damage has happened. So this is not a class of environment or anything. I just wanted to show you guys what happens when I'm on site. When I show you just the posters of the national parks, so you know I'm really in the national park. Yeah. And then hopefully you'll see some cool stuff. If you have never seen drilling, this must be exciting for you. Of course you might yeah. Okay, let's go. Letters are not very clear. Not sure how much you can see. I'm really not sure. Okay, there. This is Namib National Park. The letters are really not clear. Maybe it's because I'm watching without my glasses. Hopefully you can see. So that road is through the Namib Park. So it is a park that is recognized in the country. Okay, so those are some pipelines. It's a water pipeline, and then there's Dorob National Park. So they are like back to back with one another. Okay, see, we are in the desert. If you know this area, you know very well what I'm talking about. But if you don't know, this is the beautiful Namibia. That's our beautiful sunrise there. It's just before 8 o'clock. So yeah, let's go, guys. So guys, I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. I'm so excited. I'm finally on site and it's finally happening. I mean, I've been to site so many times over the years, but every time it's so exciting. I'm doing this in my personal capacity as a professional in the field. I don't know if you are hearing anything like, that is I don't know if you call it a bulldozer or something. I don't know, what is it called? It's digging a hole now where we are going to put the drilling fluids, because the drilling mechanism that we're using, it uses fluids. You need to mix the drilling fluids with water in that hole. I'll give you a close-up. So I have asked the drillers company's consent, because yeah, just so they know that I'm doing this just my own efforts as a professional to show a bit of what I do when I do it. Okay. Such a unique experience all the time. It's my first time dealing with a specific type of aquifer. It's completely sandy. It's in the dunes. It's in the preserve. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, if you don't hear much, it's just because the work has really started. I know. I talk, guys. Oh, guys. I can't stop smiling. Yeah, there's some trees in the desert. There's some trees. It's overall, there's some trees, some shrubs, and then the machine and the people. It's going down, guys. This stage is called site preparation. The site has to be prepped before you just start drilling. So like I was telling you, that machinery there is digging a hole. Let me see if I can get a close-up. Once they start putting in the fluids, I'll show you. It's so exciting, guys. Yeah, so this is like a day of me at work, and this is what happens. So beautiful. So they is the whole, also some of the employees. Yeah. Tate. Tarara po. Mga pate. Tawa. Hello. Never seen a drill rig before. The drill rig is the machine that is used to drill the borehole. I'm gonna try and give you a view. I mean, they differ, of course, models, types, but this is a specific one that is being used here. That red machine there, the drill rig. Quite a complicated machine, but yeah. Work is in progress. In progress. Work is in progress. Okay, getting closer now. That is the rig basically. I'm not gonna go in details of describing it because I'm not an expert there. Just how it looks like. Okay. Operation, guys. Those are the other support vehicles. The support vehicles, my dear. That truck, those are containers of water that is gonna be used here. So the process takes quite some time because, like, we are in the remote area, like here. There's actually no taps nearby, so they have to either equip a borehole within the closest to this side with a pump, then pump the water from there and then transport it to the site where I was just showing you they're preparing, guys. Yeah, so there, those are all support vehicles. There, and there are some that are not even here yet. So that's yeah, huge deal. Girl is here, all set with safety gear, né? From helmet, overall, boots. Yeah, that's like a priority. Everyone on site should be wearing PPE. Safety first. You can see the gents are in their overalls. Yeah, boo. Yay, we're here, man. We are here. Preparation is about to finish. Can you see the pit is now full of water and drilling fluids? And get closer, take a picture of the drilling fluids. The full experience, huh? Full experience. Problem is, hey, my phone is going flat. Let's just hope it can be here for the good part. Site preparation is done, so you start drilling. This drilling method that uses fluids is called mud rotary. Yeah. If need be, we are gonna use reverse circulation, so coupling this one and yeah. This one is for soft formation. When you are dealing with hard rocks, you use things like air percussion. Also, these are drilling types for water. For water, there are other drilling methods like the ones they use in the mines, like the diamond. They use core drilling and stuff like that. But yeah. You see now the fun stuff. I'm looking forward to a high-yielding borehole. That means lots of water. Drill bit. That's what rotates and goes in the ground to make a hole. Woo. Yeah. Up there it goes all the way up there. Yeah. And the rig is about to start running. That's the rig operator right here. And up there, that's where the casings go. Casings are like pipes to support the hole so that it doesn't collapse until it's drilled to completion. How deep you drill depends on the study you did that I told you precedes the drilling itself. So now we are doing the real stuff, the drilling itself. Okay. See how high it goes? See, those cables are connecting to the rods, drilling rods that I'm talking about that support the hole. Without those, you could drill and this thing will collapse, especially here because it's soft formation. This is just sand. It's not even consolidated. Those that have a bit of background, this is Kalahari sand. Yeah, that truck is holding 10 pipes and rods and yeah. Professional things. Now the fish has been lowered in the ground. How you continue is by putting, that's our rod. So they're the ones that pushing the fish into the ground. That is basically, there's a certain weight combination that allows for that. Okay, you see how they are. The controls are where the gentleman is standing. First you drill a bigger hole, so up there, I'm focusing now. There is a drill bit. It's big enough to drill a 444mm diameter hole. So now you can see the gentlemen are all working towards pulling that big pipe out there, that metal pipe. It's called a stand pipe. About 6 meters of it has to go in first, and then they will continue now to drill a smaller diameter, which is called the diameter of the borehole. I think here we are going to be drilling about 203 millimeters. Fellow colleagues that understand, feel free to explain where I'm failing to explain properly to the people, although this is just really to show, not really to detail everything. My battery is this close to dying. I want you guys to see the casing installation. That's a stand pipe, but even the other casings that I'm talking about, they are installed in the same fashion. So it's a lot of work, and I will, when I charge my phone, continue to show you what I can. After installation, there are still many steps, which is like development of the borehole, step testing it, that is pump testing it. You have CD testing it, and then you have now CD. All the tests have to be recovered. After recovery of the CD test, you also actually during the pump test already you collect water samples to take to the lab. That's how you know what is the quality of that the water that you found in the borehole, if the borehole is not dry, because it's not always that there's water in the borehole, and then when there's no water in the borehole, we say the borehole is dry, just written off. Okay, and then you can now what is this, you disinfect the borehole. Once you disinfect the borehole, then you close it with a cap so that it doesn't get vandalized, it doesn't get rubbish falling in and all that stuff. And then you clean up the site back to environmental compliance. You clean the site, try to restore it as best as, so let's hope when you reach those stages the battery will still be here, and then I think you're already feeling the hang of it. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Right? So that you can connect the rod
battery here is about to die. You can see I'm literally in the forest. I have no way of charging this phone, but okay, we saw this part, right? That's what's gonna happen until we hit bedrock. They're gonna keep changing the roads like that, and that's just how it happens. If that road, as you see it like that, is about 6 meters long, so they will keep, if the borehole is 20 meters, they'll keep putting those roads down until the depth reaches 20 meters. Okay, and then once they are done, they are going to remove the roads and start installing casings now. The casings, but the roads is just there to keep the hole stable. And then once the hole is complete, that means it has ended. Let's say you wanted a 20-meter borehole. You remove the rods and you put the casing. Then the casing will remain there supporting the borehole. Even after 10 years, they will be in there. The casings come in pipes and all that. I hope by the time they're installing casings, I still have some battery so that you can see how the casings look like. So this is the hole that was drilled. This is just about 6 meters. It's very big. These are very big diameters. Boreholes are not usually this big. They're usually smaller than this. But this is a special aquifer. So the type, the size differs. Okay, okie dokie. So just a hole. 6 meters. We still have to go deeper. I think I must end this one and make part 2. Then I'm gonna install it. The 444 millimeter diameter. Hi, guys. Hey, shut the bedrock, huh? So how to stop? So bedrock, I am okay, consistent, huh? Kunamba to the poop, baby. You can have the poop. She never did. Yeah. You'll fall in there. Don't come too close. If anybody falls in there, you'll have a problem. Yeah, no? Okay, guys. Time to install installation continues. Can't show you the whole process of it happening, but I'll show you as it goes. Like that one was put up there, now it's just going to be lowered in the borehole. Let me see if I can get a better view. It's that long, it's just being fastened down there, and then it should be lowered. So this is the last one, we are almost done. The support vehicle was having the book where I wrote the borehole design. It's my job to design how the casings are put in, where to put the screens, where to put the plain casings. Screens are like those blue pipes but with holes to be able to allow water in the borehole, yeah? After it's completed. So you check your geology and then you tell which one looks like it's the cost of water, then you put a screen there. Technical stuff, man. For now, let's see how the pipe is going down. You see? It was all the way up there. Now it's going down the hole. How it starts from picking up from the ground, putting it on there and rolling it on the ground, and it's in the ground.
from that, I think it's a winch or pulley system of some sort. So I can go all the way up there. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. To drill about more than 10 of them, so the same process will be repeated at each borehole. So it's not child's play, it's not child's play. And let's not forget, we are in the Namib Desert, extremely hot, and far from everything, so lowering, I think you saw that, so that's how it happens. After this, we are gonna put in gravel beds. I don't know how best to explain this, but yeah, gravel beds. And then yeah, the rest of the processes I will show you as they happen. Drilling of the borehole is done. We installed casings like you saw. We installed some gravel bags. I'll put one picture of a gravel bag. Gravel bag is like sand material that is used to filter the water that goes into the borehole. There's a lot of specifications like the grain size, depending on the geology. They have to be at least bigger than the grain size of the local geology material there, so that that one doesn't go into the borehole through the screens. So now we are preparing to develop the borehole. Borehole development is very important. Like here you saw we are using a lot of drilling fluids, water, liquids going into the borehole, but making sure the borehole is not clogged, and making sure it is optimized. You know, if they are clogging, then they can prevent water from entering the hole. I don't know how to put this in layman terms, but you can see now they are preparing for development. They are going to develop by means of pumping. This means flushing out any dirt that went into the borehole, be it sand, be it the fluids, anything is going to be flushed out. So they are just setting that up. There's pumps, the pipes on which the pump is going to be supported on, and all that stuff. You're gonna see some water coming out now. They're just flushing everything out of the borehole. This is called development.
This is now borehole development. See, the first water that comes out is really dirty. We are pumping that out of the borehole until it becomes clear.
Borehole development is still in progress. There is like 6 hours provision made to develop the borehole. That's like a standard in drilling standards. I mean, the borehole can now be developed. There is the borehole that far where the truck is standing. The pipe is just taking water from the borehole. There's several methods of developing. You can pump, or you can blow out the particles and everything. On this particular borehole, we are using the pumping method. So there's a flow meter there. You can tell at what rate they are pumping, and then this is where the water is being discharged. If you saw the beginning of the development, the water was whitish because it has mixed, the water in the borehole mixed with the drilling fluids that were in that hole. So now they are becoming clear. It means developing is progressing well, because this is the water now that you might be drinking after the borehole and whatnot. However, this is still raw water. We still don't know the the quality of that borehole. The samples need to be taken into the lab so that we can determine what is the quality of the water, if it's ready to drink right away or it needs to be treated first. You can't tell just by looking that the water is clear, then you give it to the people. So there's many steps that goes in getting water. Like I told you guys, we are in the Namib Desert. So this water is used by communities around this side. Yeah, already. Yeah, so it's a very expensive and costly operation to just get this one borehole. If you need more, the same procedure has to be repeated on as many boreholes as you're gonna drill. Yeah. Support vehicles there. Yeah. And if you can record on my first video, there was a big hole there with water in it. So part of rehabilitating the site includes closing that site. We found it leveled up, so it's closed. There's completely no hole anymore here. So like I said, remedying the situation for the environment, trying to restore it as closely as how we found it. It's part of the environmental compliance. Now we are getting the water. The borehole is successful. This is like good news for me. Oh, there's water! And voila! Guys, we found water in the desert. Voila! We found water in the desert. There you go. Very clean. Of course, I still have to send them to the lab. But yeah! Every geohydrologist's joy to find water in the borehole. Yes! 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 Guys, water for the Namibian nation. Water for the Namibian nation. It's a CD test for WW100-407. Just for the rickets. I'm so happy, man. Da-da-da-da-da. I'll be happy. Always my pleasure sharing information, especially this constructive. Yeah. That's all from my girl for now. I may go continue the work. Science.